My girlfriend of 2 years has had this male friend for a while. His name is Declan, and I'm not his biggest fan, but I didn't want to impede on the friendship. So she told me last week that Declan pranked her by calling her up and pretending to be Jack Nicholson with one of those soundboards, so she wants to get him back. So as a joke, the next time we were over at his place, she used his landline to call a sex hotline that charged by the minute, and then just left the phone there. Declan gets charged like $200 for it. So Declan strikes back at her again. At this point, they're still just being goofy, and I don't really mind. He comes over to her place for a party she was throwing, then hides this creepy decapitated doll in her closet. She finds it, freaks out, but then starts laughing. Now she wants to prank Declan even harder, so she knows he's scared of clowns, and she literally makes this giant paper-mache clown statue that's hollow on the inside. She wants to put it in his house. Apparently his roommate will let her in or something, then hide in it all night, and then pop out of it as soon as he notices it. So, I tell her this seems a little extreme, but she does it anyway. Fast forward to that night. I get a call from my girlfriend because Declan apparently punched her in the face as soon as he saw her pop out of the clown thing, totally as a knee-jerk reaction, because he didn't know it was her. Her nose wound up getting broken. She had to go to the hospital. Now she's fine, although she is still wearing a splint, but she wants to continue pranking Declan. At this point, should I put my foot down? She is actually getting injured, and it makes me wonder if she just likes being around him so much that she is using the pranks as an excuse. Update 1. I talked to my girlfriend about Declan, and I told her that the pranks are getting dangerous, and she is unreasonably close to a guy she's only known for such a short amount of time. She refers to him as her brother and her BFF, but it's literally been 5 months. I thought she would react in a mature way, but instead she said, almost word for word, "This is why I am always pranking Declan. At least Declan has a good sense of humor. I wouldn't even need to hang out with Declan if you weren't so uptight." So, at least now I have confirmation that she hangs out with Declan specifically because she thinks I am not good enough. We wind up having a screaming match, and the door rings so she goes to get it. It's this guy in a giant gorilla costume who barges in and starts humping all our furniture. Immediately I assume it's fucking Declan, so I, keep in mind I was already extremely angry, punch him in the face. He takes off the mask. It's Declan's roommate Chad. Apparently Declan paid Chad $100 to scare us in the gorilla suit as a diversion, because he was right behind Chad. While Chad was humping our furniture, Declan snuck into our bedroom and put ham underneath the mattress cover. So I tell both of these dudes to get the fuck out and stop pranking us. I thought I was finally standing up to Declan, when finally my girlfriend tells me that the prank was hilarious, and she's going to give me time to cool off. She leaves with Chad and Declan, and keep in mind Chad's nose is still bleeding and he's wearing the gorilla suit. I haven't heard from her yet today, but I saw her post a picture of a bagel on Instagram this morning, so I know she's awake. I still don't know where she slept last night or what happened with Declan. I want to break up because I'm so angry, but weirdly enough, I still really love her. I can't help it. And I don't want to waste 2 years. Final update. Well, this is the latest one. Here. Spread it around. I can't believe I was removed. For those of you who don't want to read the earlier posts, my girlfriend, now ex, got way too close to her male friend Declan through an infantile prank war, whose roommate Chad facilitated some of the pranks. I also want to say thank you for the helpful PMs and comments of support. I got way too many to reply to all of them, but they were all helpful. Sorry for updating so late. A lot has happened, and it was 4th of July weekend. The night of my previous post, I broke up with my girlfriend. I told her pretty much exactly what was suggested. I even told her I thought her behavior with Declan was already an emotional affair, if not a physical one. Not surprisingly, she flipped out at me and told me I was being emotionally abusive and controlling. She told me that every ex-boyfriend she's had has been emotionally abusive, and I fall right into that category. Okay. LOL. Because she's only kind of living with me and technically not on the lease, she's just slowly been staying here more often and has a key. It was pretty easy to kick her out. I wasn't sure if she was going to return to her old roommate, who has most of her stuff, her female friend, or if she'd start living with Declan and Chad, his roommate. When I asked her if she was going to move in with Declan, she told me it was no longer my business. Anyway, so that night I tried to relax. I was pretty upset, but pretty sure in my decision to dump her, and I felt like I could start new, meet someone else, etc. Then I got a bunch of random calls on my phone from a restricted number. When I picked up, nobody was there, so I turned my phone on silent, figuring this was one of her immature schemes. TBH, I still don't know who did it, I'm just assuming her or Declan. And in the morning, I had 60 missed calls from restricted numbers. In the morning, I actually got a text from Declan asking to come over to pick up my girlfriend's stuff. So, yes, she moved in with him. I tried to be civil because I really just wanted to get her stuff out of my apartment, but I also wanted closure, so when he got here, I just told him that his relationship with her directly influenced the breakup, and that I know they're together now. Now, this is where things get weird. Declan looks at me, surprised, and tells me that he doesn't think my girlfriend is into him, and that he definitely isn't into her. I told him to cut the crap, that it doesn't matter anymore. He seemed to be getting anxious and panicky, so I told him to calm down. I wasn't going to hurt him, I just wanted to know the deal. Then he tells me that he knows he directly contributed to our breakup, but not in the way I think. Apparently, it was Chad, not Declan, who wanted to bang my girlfriend. Chad was too shy and asked Declan to befriend my girlfriend and act as a wingman. Declan has tons of female friends, so Chad thought he would effectively gain her trust and be a good in. Declan insisted the reason he kept pranking her and being goofy was because he was hoping it would paint their relationship as clearly non-romantic. Apparently, Chad paid him back for all the times he had to lose money in a prank, and Chad was actually the one paying for my girlfriend's broken nose. I told him, well, that was a stupid plan because my girlfriend moved in with you specifically to be with you, so that sucks for all three of you. Declan got extremely upset and seemed to be practically shaking at the idea that my girlfriend had feelings for him. He was acting like he murdered someone. So now my girlfriend, well, ex, is living with the guy she has a crush on, who has no feelings for her, and a guy who has a crush on her but was too creepy and weird to say it. I hope they all have fun together. I'm sure she will contact me again once it dawns on her that the wrong guy is interested. I will update you all if that happens. Story 2. I accidentally farted on a first date, and she walked out in the middle of dinner. I met this girl a couple of weeks ago, and I've never hit it off with anyone like this. Extremely attractive, funny, we loved all the same things, everything was perfect. However, she kept mentioning all of her pet peeves, some of which are unforgivable and instant deal breakers. Our first date was this past Saturday night. I made a reservation at a hard-to-get-into hole-in-the-wall that's literally a tourist attraction in my town in Louisiana. Perfect spot for a quiet dinner. The quietness would become a detriment to my dating life. I had been gassy all day for no reason at all. It was one of those days. However, they weren't noisy or smelly, so I didn't think much about it. We were talking and having a great time when I tried to ease one out, and for some reason, it was audible. A clear fart noise. In a desperate attempt to lie my way out of the mishap, I quickly said, "That's not what it sounded like, I promise you. It was my chair." The night's conversational focus has now shifted toward the unidentified noise. Her whole demeanor changed, and there were no more laughs, jokes, smiles, nothing. One of her aforementioned pet peeves had surfaced. The night was effectively over. In a last-ditch effort to recover, we decided on trying to recreate the fart noise with the chair. If I could somehow achieve this, I had a chance. Although slim to none, a chance nonetheless. Long story short, I could not recreate the fart noise by scooting the chair around, and our now-delivered food was getting cold. She accused me of a farting liar and left. It's now Monday morning, and I still haven't heard from her as I lie here and shit-post my gastric misfortunes. Believe it or not, this was the short version. Is there a chance for us, or is she out? Should I have taken ownership of the fart? Thoughts? Update. This is the other side of the story because my date posted his version here about a month ago, and I just found out. This guy and I hit it off, and after a few weeks of talking, I agreed to go on a date with him. He was very funny, intelligent, and cute, to name just a few. As we were getting to know one another, we discussed things that we love, hate, and annoyances from a relationship standpoint. None of them from either of us were crazy. Some of mine were. I won't tolerate dishonesty, I don't like feet, and I don't like bathroom talk. Fast forward to our date. Everything is going well. We get our drinks and appetizers. He got some kind of bean soup as an app. He was slurping it out of the bowl. Didn't really bother me, it was just noticeable. Dinner comes out, and he lets out the loudest, rank fart that I've ever had the displeasure of witnessing. I work in healthcare. Honestly, he looked so embarrassed. I was going to ignore it and continue with dinner. That is, until he practically yelled out, "I didn't fart. It was the chair. The chair farted. Not me. I promise I didn't fart." So I said, "It's okay. Just please stop saying that and lower your voice." Y'all, I kid you not. This man starts scooting around on the chair and telling me he'll prove to me he didn't fart and just listen for the chair. This went on for a solid 5 minutes with people staring at us. I was so embarrassed, and he would not let it go. I finally just got up and left. He left me several voicemails afterwards, telling me how dramatic I was for leaving over a squeaky chair and how ridiculous my pet peeves were. I never responded to him, and then I found out about his Reddit post. Can y'all blame a gal for walking out?